with Tony Gerdeman from Buckeye Scoop. Tony, go ahead.
Brian, we talked to Ryan on Monday. I asked him about Jaxon Smith-Njigba, and he said you guys wanted to get him work with the ones, and just wondering that thought process, and then what you've seen from him and how you think he's done this spring.
Jaxon he's done a great job spring-wise. I would say he knows he may have one little dip in the middle of spring, but he kind of started out hot, had a day maybe where he had to catch his breath, and he's been on fire since. I think he's doing a great job. I think that he may be our best blocker in the room. His blocking on the perimeter, his desire, his physicality is much needed in our room. He's probably the best one at it. He's a pleasure to coach, love coaching him. So, but throughout spring in general, I'm always trying to rotate guys and get different feels with guys and get different rotations the best you can. It's not always perfect, but you want to get different guys with different quarterbacks, and you want a constant rotation the best you can just to change the people they're going against defensively, change who they're working with operationally, offensively. So, but it's been a great spring for him. I think he's one of those guys that definitely helped take a step.
All righty, next we'll go to Austin Ward from Leonard Monroe. Austin.
Hey, Brian, I know Julian's been banged up a little bit this spring, and really since he got here, he hasn't had the year of development probably that he envisioned, just with all the other complications. Where is he in this process? We know it might take a little bit of time. And what have you tried to get out of him this spring when he was able to, participate in some fashion?
Yeah, Julian's not the only one. There's multiple of guys that have been robbed of crucial development time. Obviously, they were robbed of that last spring. The whole team was robbed of that last spring. Obviously, he's been going through some things since high school medically that he needed to get cleared up, got it cleared up, but it was pretty intensive. I mean, the kid is one of the toughest kids I've ever probably been around to operate the level he's operated at with a linebacker strap on his shoulder to help protect that thing and then try to execute at such a high level. I mean, I think he's a special individual. His size and speed combination are like I've probably never seen in college football, me personally. In the development he's had from last camp, if you will, whatever you want to call that, through the season to also develop but also learn football and grow, I thought was really awesome. Unfortunately, we did not have enough time with him through the spring because of getting things fixed, since high school. But I'm so excited for Julian. I think he's a rock star as an individual, and I look forward to getting him back on a full-time, regiment. But it is what it is. Spring's part of that. Everyone has a different plan in spring, and he needs to get ultra healthy first so he can maximize what he's capable of doing. But I'm really excited about where he's at mentally and how he's progressing physically, and then the health at which he's going to be able to have, which the guy's been operating at 75% for the last couple of years. I'm really excited for him for that too.
Thanks, Brian.
All righty, next up we'll go to Doug Lamarice from Cleveland.com.
Hey, Brian, I asked Ryan this similar question. When you have guys like Garrett and Chris who are back with their level of talent, but also their level of experience, and I'll throw Jeremy Ruckert in there, just guys like that, you've been around great receiver rooms, but what does it do for an offense when you have the talent and the experience and it's not just one guy, it's multiple guys? What could this passing game do as a result?
Well, I think that, when you name all of the guys, they're all over the board, whether they're left tackles or right tackles or centers or running backs. I think at the end of the day, we need to understand that we should have no lower standard than a high execution rate. It doesn't matter really where it's going or how it's getting there, but we're executing at a high level. And if you lose that opportunity and you don't capitalize on your opportunity, good chance you might not see another one. Everyone's going to get a lot of opportunities, but it's how you do capitalizing on your opportunities that will help dictate, how things are going, if you will. There's still only one ball. The ultimate goal is to win football games. And we do have a lot of talented guys and a lot of talented guys you didn't even name. That being said, we'll get creative. We're going to find ways to have a lot of fun out there and get the ball spread all kinds of different ways. And when the ball's in the running back's hands, we got to do a phenomenal job, blocking on the perimeter and creating space in the run game. So, I think, coming in with an elevated, talent pool, if you will, is that we could, we can try some new things. We can do different things, and, we can have a little more fun with it, and really take everything to another level. We've reached a certain level. How about the next level? And at the end of the day, these guys have a way to go in their careers. And if they don't believe that, they won't reach that. So we've had a great job through spring, pointing that out, executing on that. And then again, we have to stay healthy. So.
All right. Alrighty, we'll go next to Bill Rabinowitz from the Columbus Dispatch.
Brian, the success of your unit obviously is directly tied to the quarterbacks, and in the last 2 years you've had Justin and Dwayne before that. Can you just describe the level of confidence you have that whoever the quarterback is going to be able to play at the level that your guys are going to be able to do what they've always done? And how confident are you with the quarterbacks?
Oh, I love it. I love the situation with a young quarterback because it just asks us and demands us to be more detailed than ever. I mean, not that these guys can't bail us out at times, but, to be exact with landmarks, to be very clean with body language, to not confuse people, having a younger quarterback that is maybe not learning it all at the first time, but they're also don't have a large body of work. So I think it's awesome. And it really provides a lot of, clear direction on what's expected. Are we doing it? Are we not? And then, we don't have the cloudiness all the time of maybe quarterbacks making us right. And they obviously do, but anytime quarterbacks make you right, it kind of covers up the real problem, the real inefficiency. So again, production doesn't mean it was good. Production means it was good enough, and we're trying to aim for excellence. So a lot of times there's a little more ownership now on knowing we got to take care of our duty to handle, and to help the young quarterbacks. So I love the situation right now. Obviously, we get through spring. We don't have any young quarterbacks anymore. We'll carry that tag probably for the spring practice. But once we clear that, man, there's no rookie mentality anymore. We got to go. So.
All right, we're going to do just a couple more for Coach because we got a couple of receivers ready for you. So let's go to Dan Hope from 11 Warriors.
Hey, Brian, Marvin and Emeka have both already lost their black stripes. Just wondering for each of those guys, what have they done so far this spring to impress you?
Yeah, I mean, the whole stripe thing really isn't, it's not really my call. They obviously, if I approve or not deny, that's fine. But it comes down to the peers, swinging for the guys. It comes down to other coaches bringing it up, talks to academics. It talks to all kinds of things. It's not just about on the football field. It's about how you carry yourself off the field. And these guys embody all that. I mean, I don't see anybody spend more time on the jugs, more time in the room, coming in extra than I do those two young men at this point. Obviously, and Jaden too. That's all coming along. But these guys have worked at a very high level, and they don't carry themselves like freshmen. They don't act like freshmen. But at this point, my job is I'm trying to throw as much of them at them as possible because they have shown me they can pretty much handle it. They've done a pretty darn good job, and the stripe removal comes more based on the peers and the people around than it does of me. But I think their consistency level to hit on the football side of things, their consistency level in details, their desire to want to reach perfection in the details has probably been a big separator. I think they've done a good job. Learning offensively. They have pretty limited, missed assignments, which tells you they do a great job going from the meeting to the practice field. They work really hard. They've been healthy. They haven't gotten hurt. So they've been on the field every day, being able to get better. You can't get better unless you're on the field. And so again, you continue to check boxes and continue to get reps, and a lot of good things have shown up.
All righty, we'll do two more for Coach. We'll go first to Nathan Baird, Cleveland.com.
Brian, I kind of want to follow up a little on Julian, but as a coach, and especially maybe as someone who's been there before, how do you help a guy who comes in with like such high expectations and then runs into, I guess, his own health, everything he went through, the whole team went through last year, and then just having, a really top-heavy room right now with like guys like Garrett and Chris? Like, how are you helping him sort of manage expectations, but then also, I guess, you still want them to have a certain urgency to want to be on the field as quickly as possible?
Yeah, I think what you're hitting on is all the outside noise. The things that you guys write about, the fake narratives that come out all the time. I think that at the end of the day, none of that helps him become where he wants to. He's got a goal, and I'm sure he can tell you where that goal is at. And it has nothing to do with his current situation. It has nothing to do with the current room situation. It purely is on probably, I'm going to have a great career here. I want to get my degree. I want to be able to go play in the NFL. I want to be developed at the highest level possible. And all of those things are what's important to him. And I think it's not just Julian, it's all of them. Everyone that comes to Ohio State, there's a lot of expectations, whether you guys put it on him or whether his family does or his friends, or it doesn't matter. Everyone has high expectations. So it's not always going the way you want it to go. And then when you think you get there, when you think you got it going the way you want to go, you want more. I mean, the guy that has the most targets in the world still wants more targets. The guy that has the most money in the world still wants more money. So it's just controlling the mental narrative constantly, because if you can do that, you can be successful in anything in life. And so, blocking out what people say on Twitter, blocking out things that people don't know anything about, and really focusing on the things that are going to, lead me to my success is really important. His health is critical. So glad we're getting that taken care of for him. And then we just kind of keep building from there. But the individual as a person, like you're saying, to operate where he's at with maybe other stressors out there he has to defend on, not by his choice, has been phenomenal. He's done a great job. His maturation from an athlete to actually becoming a receiver has been awesome. And you'll hear no qualms from me at this point. Looking forward to having him back on a full-time schedule after having some surgery.
Alrighty, and last question for Coach Hartline. We'll go to Bill Landis from The Athletic.
Brian, you guys played so much with two tight ends last year. I'm wondering how much you might anticipate that changing this coming season, and if you think some of the guys behind Garrett and Chris this year will have a little more opportunity to get on the field than they did last year.
Yeah, I would say that, Coach Day does a great job developing our offenses based on personnel. So our personnel will be indicative of, how these guys work and how these guys execute at a high level. To take one guy off the field and put another guy on, that guy better be of equal value, if not more value. So our job as receivers is to put ourselves in a position where we never need to come off the field. We don't need a better blocker. We are that. I think that, all those things come again, and again, like we had some, Luke and Jake did a really good job at tight end. And so maybe not having that, we're probably looking for guys to come step forward. Again, I'm not, Coach Wilson could probably give you more feedback on that, but that's always been our mantra. Best players play, try to keep the best guys on the field, and then obviously based on job description. So our job is to be as multifaceted as possible. If we feel like we're a liability in any kind of facet, well, we're going to be replaced and personnel is going to change. So it's always our goal. Couldn't tell you how it's going to shape up now. It's just spring. But, having multiple personnel groups is really vitally important to us, and we'll continue that. At what cost, I don't know.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time today, Coach. Really appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks, guys.